Hi guys, welcome back. In today's video, we are going to be covering two companies, PGL and the other company is Garware High Tech Films. Okay, probably in the third video, I will do action construction equipment and Tina rubber because PGL and Garware are the two most requested in my comment section and in my DMs. Okay, so first thing first, let's start with PGL. Again, for both of these companies, if you want to understand the business model in depth, right, I would request you to head over to my YouTube channel business analysis playlist. There is this playlist called business analysis and you will find these two videos, PGL and Garware High Tech Films, over there, and watch that. I've shared my screen and I've shown everything in detail, so that would be your cue to watch that. Okay, so since this is a result update, let's quickly wrap up PGL ka business model in a quick manner. So if you look at PGL, what PGL does is they manufacture these ACs, right? Different types of ACs, room AC, indoor unit, outdoor unit, all of this, and this is a majority part of the income. 70% का income यहाँ से आता है, ठीक है? Revenue या sales आप बोलते हो, it comes from here. Now this entire the entire business that is there, the AC का business, or it saw a huge boom over here is because of one thing. We've had a very strong summer this entire year, right? First of all, in the month of April, May and June, we've had this heat wave, right? Heat wave and that El Nino, because of which we had harsh summers. And not just that, it has continued throughout this entire year, right? Because even though we are in winters right now, we didn't have a harsh winter. The effects of this was still there, right? And because of this huge tailwind that is there, right, we saw the demand was very strong. This was from a consumer perspective, you can tell. And other than that also, if you look at it, all of these AC manufacturing companies faced another very strong demand, is because there has been a lot of import bans on the kind of products that you can get. And one of the product was AC and its different parts such as compressor and all. So let's say now, for example, if you are a AC company, like it could be like Voltas or Blue Star, you have an AC brand which is a B2C brand, you are prohibited from getting all this stuff from importing, right? You have to you have to source it locally. Okay, so that also gave them a boost. And a lot of this PLI scheme, Atmanirbhar, Make in India, all of these schemes that also came into effect, right, which gave these companies a lot of privilege to work and created an environment that is very sustainable for them to perform over here. Okay, and whether it is when you look at the entire AC space, whether it is PGL, Amber, EPAC, Virtuous, Optoelectronics, all of these four companies performed really well because of this immense tailwind, like every single person. Now obviously, when you look at all of these four companies, there has been one clear winner over the last 3 quarters, right? And that has not three, actually 4 quarters, because they started in Q4, right? And if you look at them, all the four companies has been done well, but PGL has consistently outperformed everybody in all the metrics, right? And this quarter is also a no-brainer. It's like a testament of like in the race of this AC manufacturing space, right? It still continues to claim that number one position. If you guys remember that video that we did in Q3, right? This is Q3, sorry, in Q2 we did a P2P analysis of of these four companies, right? And we saw that PGL was the number one, and it got a high valuation because of that. Now the question was in Q3 is, will it continue to remain the number one over here? And Q3 ka result is an absolute testament for the same, because if you look at it, the sales has been up by 88%, and the PAT, that if you look at it on a consolidated level, if you see, PAT is up by 110%, almost 109. I'm rounding it off and telling it to 110. Okay, now over here, if you see, let's compare all the other companies that are there. Let's talk about the sales growth. First thing first, PGL 88, Amber 63, and EPAC was around 35%. Virtuous Optoelectronics doesn't give Q3, वो सिर्फ Q2 और Q4 में देखता है. So again, can you see, based on the sales growth 88, 63 and 35, you clearly see who the winner is. Similarly, even in terms of operating leverage, इसका तो PGL का तो 108% था PAT growth. If you look at Amber went from a loss of -1 crore to 37 crore, and EPAC to, I think PAT is down by a whopping 50%, right? You see that again over here when you talk about these two metrics also, right? You see again who is leading the race. PGL is leading the race. Okay, another interesting thing that has happened over here with PGL is, this is the fourth quarter where they've come and they've increased the guidance. Okay, if you remember in Q4, I believe the sales growth they were targeting for the full year, right? Full year was 23.8 percentage, and on a consolidated level, that is including unka jo JV hai with Goodworth Electronics, wo TV ka manufacturing, it was around 42. Okay, this was a guidance given in the first Q after the Q4 ka Q4 ka result, Q4 ka PPT. This was the first guidance that was given in terms, for this full year, for this FY25 ka year, what you were supposed to expect. 23.8% in 8 sorry 23.8 percentage in terms of revenue growth, sales growth, if you consider PGL, but including all the subsidiaries, it would be a 42 percentage kind of growth. Now they came in, they increased again in Q1 maybe guidance revised kiya, right? And Q1 ka guidance they increased from 23 to 32 in terms of only their company. Again in Q2 they came and they increased it to around 54.7 percentage, and again they came in Q3 and they increase the guidance, what, we will be ending this year with a 65 percentage kind of growth. Again, I'm just talking about one thing only, that is PGL ka group alone, right? PGL as a consolidated basis, only that I'm going to talk. And that you can see how has the guidance improved. From they gave first the revenue guidance was 23.8, and now in this Q3, in the last 3 quarters, they came and they increased the guidance, and from 23.8, say they were telling they'll do around 65 percentage for growth. That's literally like, I mean, you only calculate how many X's that is, okay? And on a consolidated, on a group level basis, if you include the Goodworth ka JV that is there, earlier the guidance at the end of Q4 was 42 percentage, and now it is 85 percentage. That's literally 2x, almost more than 2x actually, more than 2x kind of growth they are projecting. So now you understand over here why tracking is important, right? Because once you track the business, you understand the concept of tracking. See, the only reason I actually started this YouTube ka entire thing is, to show you guys, that every quarter you can actually come, there is something as con call, read it, and how to track the business. So I hope now with this example you have understood why tracking is important, because somebody like PGL can come and increase the guidance. As an investor, for you it could be fruitful, and and there could be somebody else over there who's coming and reducing the guidance, like for example ACE that they did, right? So it is very important for you to track and understand which tracking, understand which guidance revision is is good, which guidance revision is bad. Again, if all of this is covered, everything in detail in the investment checklist workshop. Make sure you're getting it and using your Sundays to learn about it. So tomorrow when you get an opportunity like PGL, you know what to look for and whether you can make that decision. Because that entire workshop is done to equip you with to decision making. Like how you can look at companies, what are the parameters you need to look, and how you can take decisions based on that parameter. Okay, so over here, overall great set of numbers over here. When you talk about their capex also, because this full year they have a guidance of doing capex of around 350 to 370 crores. Okay, and that capex is also on track in their plant in Bhiwadi in Rajasthan, and they have another plant in Noida, right? All of it is on track, there is no problem. Only thing is we'll have to wait and listen to the con call and see how it goes. And hopefully because the best season is Q1, right? And that is the next year, Q1 of FY26, April, May, June. That is the best of the best season for these AC manufacturers. So hopefully we see again they come in Q4 end, and when they when they give the guidance for the upcoming financial year, hopefully we see that the guidance is revised for the upper end. Now we will do a in detail P2P analysis once a con call is done. We will do that and I'll make a separate video. Just one word on the guidance over here. I think PGL earlier, when in Q4 when we did this video, it was a 42% ka growth engine, at a 42% ka growth engine at probably 30-35p in that range. Now it is a 80% ka growth engine at around 80 to 85p, right? So obviously over here there is this one risk. Now it has gone from low p high growth, from there it has gone to high growth high p over the last 3-4 quarters, right? Now what becomes imperative over here is this growth sustains, so that you can the valuation makes sense. Anytime over here the growth tapers off, right, the same valuation becomes an enemy, because यहाँ पे growth के लिए there are two aspects, PE का re-rating and EPS, right? And PE का re-rating is very much dependent on your growth over here, right? If it continues to grow, well and good, but if it doesn't, the same, if it is a little bit hamper in growth even in 1 quarters now, it can be very detrimental over here. So that is one thing. Not just in terms of sales guidance, if you look at it, even in terms of PAT, they've been very clear from the starting of the year what the PAT will achieve. In Q4, like the end of Q4, they told for FY25 for full year they will do a PAT of 200 crore, and now they're coming and telling for the full year you can expect a PAT of 280 crore. Like that's like bonkers. bonkers, bro, like crazy, right? That's almost like 50% increase in PAT, not 50, 40% increase in PAT, that they have increased the guidance. So earlier PAT growth ka guidance was around 46, and this time the PAT growth ka guidance is around 104%. So absolutely brilliant show, brilliant execution by the management. Literally hats off. It's been a great journey over here, with PGL. Like absolutely beautiful. Not just in, one thing is, it's very rare when you find somebody, who's walking the talk and executing it. That is there. But being able to walk the talk and execution along with beating everybody, like every single peer in your, in your field, every single every other company in this sector, you're able to beat that and come out, in the number one position, not just for one quarter, but consistently straight for like 3-4 quarters right now. Like absolutely stunning, great set of numbers. Now let us wait for the con call and see, that only thing is, hopefully the con call is great and there is nothing, like a negative, or or any of that sort. Okay, so the second company that we'll be doing is Garware High Tech Films. Okay, so Garware over here, again, quick business model. Garware does this films. Now what is film exactly over here? Not your Bollywood film, but you would have seen in your car, right? You put this tint, right, so that the sun rays, you don't it's not hot, and the sun rays don't penetrate inside. So this is called your films, and that, what you put on car, on the windows, it is called a sun protection film. So they do different types of film: sun protection film, paint protection film, on your gadi, right? Let's say if you want to change the color, or if you don't want the actual paint to go off, you put a protectant layer, like that wrapper you put around, right? That is called as your paint protection film. So over the years also, for Garware, if you look at it, one of the things that has happened over here is a value added product. All this sun protection film, paint protection film, and all of this portion of the revenue has increased. Okay, earlier this portion of the revenue used to be hardly 27, and as of now, as of Q3FY24, this value added product portion is 71%. Okay, and this has been a huge boost in terms of growth. It has been great for the company. And the guidance for this company was, in FY24 they did around 1600 crores in revenue, and in FY25 the target is to do 2000 crore in revenue. That is by March FY25 they should do around 2000 crore in revenue. That is like a roughly 20% kind of growth. Okay, Q1 and Q2 has been very stunning for this company, as you have seen, right? And now you come to Q3, and you see in Q3 ke like bhai iska to sales growth sirf, it is up by 3%, 2.8% on a year on year basis. And if you look at the PAT is up by 8.8%. If you look at the 9 months ka data is very nice. 26% se grew sales, and 30% se PAT. But what happened on Q3 versus Q3 ke like, hardly 2.8% se grew. Now this comes to the business model ka thing. Garware ka, if you look at it, 80% of the revenue comes from exports. Okay, and here per also, like I told you, right, 70% of your revenue comes from sun protection film and paint protection film. Now in Q3 what happens? Q3 is like heavy winters, na, especially when you're exporting to Northern America and Europe. यहाँ पे तो winters is too harsh, right? Because snow हो रहा है. Forget about snow, sun ही नहीं दिखता. अगर sun ही नहीं दिखता तो कौन आपका गाड़ी में sun protection film डालेगा, right? So obviously, so Q3 is a very seasonally lean quarter for them as a result, because that November, December, January, right? Those 3 months are extremely cold winters, and 80% revenue कहाँ से आते हैं? Export से. So the management has been very clear since the start कि like, this Q3 that is there, it is always weak. It is weak because it is seasonal, because ये sun protection film का ये जो, the sales that are there, it goes down over here. Okay, so that is the thing. That is why you see the sales is up by 2.8. But if you look at the 9 months ka revenue, na, 9 months ka revenue is around 1537 crores. Okay, in that range, 1537, and the guidance is to achieve 2000 crore, right? So Q4, like I told you, only in January it is a little bit weak for them, because it is extreme winter. But February and March may, again the sales picks up for them, and February and March there is a strong uptick, and it is a very strong month for them, right? And not just the summer is, the winter is gone, but also in Q4, in the month of February and March, they start preparing for the upcoming, because uske baad to summer season aata hai na, April and May. So already for that season also the sales starts getting picked up, in February and March. Okay, so Q4 may, I believe they will be able to do this, 400 crore ka, what is the remaining balance that is there, because the guidance is 2000 crore, and they should roughly do around 446 to, I think, 460 crores they should be able to do in Q4. That is what they should be able to do. If they do that, then well and good. Management is walking the talk, guidance achieve kar raha hai. On a full year basis, you will see, 1600 to 2000 crore, 20% ka thing. Overall good result only, nothing bad. The only thing I will tell you over here is, if again, the only thing over here is, hopefully, like hopefully the management doesn't, recall the guidance in the call. That is the only thing. If you are an investor, get on the call over here, listen to the management and get an assurance, because in Q3 they were very confident, sorry, not Q3, ye to Q3 hai, sorry, Q2 mein they were very confident कि like Q3 will be weak, and Q4 mein we will see an uptick. Hopefully the same tone, the same, the same confidence they can give to the investor, the same narrative is there, that yeah, Q4 we are going to pick up and we are going to do 2000 crore in sale. We are very confident. If that is the case, well and good. But if they, let's say, revise the guidance and they tell ki like nahi ho sakte 2000 crore, that would be a, that would be a problem over here. So that is the only thing, again, to wait and watch and listen in the con call, I would tell. That is the only thing. I hope the management doesn't change its stance on that. Other than that, if you look at it, what else they have done? Yeah, these people have started a new capex. They are putting up another line in this, in this sun protection film itself, LSF it is called, and it is a 118 crore ka capex. It will take 18 months to do, and by October FY26, you should see it being commissioned. Other than that, also, they have also introduced new products, in especially the products in, which are of higher margin profile, like colored PPF. Earlier this paint protection film you would get in, like, normal colors itself. Now they're doing in vibrant colors. Some people would want, they would have gotten the car in red color, maybe now they want to change it to dark pink or neon green color. So they've gotten new lines of paint protection film. They've also started the, this, you would see this headlights, right, in your car. So for that also, a film to protect your glass from breakage and all of it in your cars. And they've also partnered with some insurance companies. Like when you talk about insurance with for vehicles, right, it is not there for your, all this glass and everything. Like big things, yes, it is there, but there are certain minor things that are not included. Now they've partnered with an insurance companies also, like, first of its kind, that if anything happens to your glass, this glass film and all of the other things, right, or your that PPF, like, see, whenever you talk about car ka breakdown hota hai and all of it, you'll have insurance. But on your film that you are adding, right, on your car, to redesign it, to make it look a bit oomph, for that nobody will give you insurance. So this is the first of its kind, they're getting an insurance for their paint protection film also. So overall good. From the press release and from the investor PPT, it didn't look like there is any, there is any recall in terms of guidance or whatsoever. But again, I believe, I hopefully they're able to achieve that 2000 crore. Just if you are an investor over here, make sure you're getting on the call, or just once the transcript is out, make sure you're checking for this one thing, that they are on track to achieve that 2000 crore ka guidance this year. And for the next year, I believe they have a target of achieving 2600 crore in FY26 full year. 2600 or 2700, 2000 somewhere, I think 2500 or 2600, that is the target. I don't remember exactly, because this guidance was given, I believe, long back. I don't remember exactly that what was the number, but somewhere around roughly there. So make sure this is in line, this is there. Other than that, there is no problem. All in all, great businesses with both. Okay, so that's that with Garware and PG Electroplast. In the other video, I will do action construction equipment and Tina rubber. Okay, that's that, guys. Happy Sunday. And again, once again, before I end the video, if you haven't got the workshop, like if you want to understand how to do equity research in the best way possible, what you need to look for, which parameters aapko dekhna padta hai, how to connect the dots between different parameters, and make your life easier, have a checklist, and make your life easier, get the investment checklist workshop. It is just for 999 rupees. I'm going to link it down below in the description, as well as in the comment section. It would be there in the pinned comment, right? If you are watching this on Twitter, it would be in the below tweet, it would be there. Okay, so that's that. I hope you all are having a great Sunday. Have fun and enjoy life, right? That's that. Take care. Bye.